All right, we will call the Plan Commission meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Just wanted to make a quick announcement that we're not going to be, the Operation Help agenda item has been pulled from tonight's agenda, so it won't be heard tonight. In case anybody did not get that memo and you're here for that, we won't have any discussion on that tonight. So, one other question, do we have, is Randy zoomed in, or?
No,
No? Okay.
he is not tonight.
Okay. All right, public hearing on a conditional use permit, 1-year follow-up review for 708 offices, 708 Second Street, Saranda. This is a public hearing. It's your opportunity to express your opinion on this item. And if you do have something to say, if you would please step up to the podium, give us your name, address, and try to keep your remarks brief and try not to repeat remarks that have been made prior to you getting up to speak. I think that's about it. So, again, public hearing. Does anybody have a comment? Any comment? Any comment? Any comment?
Move to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Motion is second to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on a conditional use permit, 1-year follow-up review for 708 offices, 708 Second Street, Saranda.
All right, good evening, everyone. So 708 Second Street received a conditional use permit back in 2018 to operate a mixed-use office building with some parking as well. It's been reviewed both in 2020 and 2022, wherein in 2022, it was requested that a 1-year review occur this year. So it is in front of you all tonight. We did request a narrative be provided by the applicant group or business owner as far as what their current business operations are standing today. And they were noted total employee counts are at 55, of which 11 are fully remote, and an average of 15 are on site Monday through Thursday, with few coming into work on Fridays. Parking includes 8 assigned spaces in the underground garage and an additional 6 or 7 spaces off the alleyway. Visitors to the site are instructed to park on 2nd Street or in nearby city lots, and the business owners believe that the business-induced traffic and parking are both non-issues for this location. There is some requirement through municipal code that does, as far as the consideration of B4 CUPs go, that follow specific criteria to protect public health, safety, and welfare. These are inclusive of intensity of proposed uses, traffic generation, lighting specs, signage specs, noise generation, and future land consistency with the comprehensive plan. Be that as it may, staff believes it follows all those guidelines, and we have not received any comments from the public over the last year, so we would therefore recommend no future reviews be scheduled in the consideration of this, understanding that it could be brought forward again at a future date if needed.
No neighbors have raised any concerns of any type?
No.
I will move then that we will not review this on a regular basis and only do it if the need should arise.
Okay.
I'll second it.
I don't know if I should put a time frame on that or not, but should I or shouldn't I? Should I put 3 years, 5 years, or no?
No,
Okay,
we would
then
recommend
I'll
no.
leave it open.
Yeah, I accept that as a second.
Okay, yeah, motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on the Downtown Overlay District Zoning Code update.
Yes, so at our previous meeting, Cedar Corp presented their proposed updates and amendments to the existing downtown overlay ordinance, and they inquired of the Plan Commission if you'd like to have Cedar Corp pursue changes to the downtown overlay district immediately, or if you'd like to postpone and wait on that until the rest of the zoning code updates are completed in about a 1.5 years. So if you decide to make amendments now, any new, I guess, applications that come in for development plans, downtown design reviews, they would have to abide by these new guidelines that Cedar Corps would bring forward for you to review and approve. So any thoughts on that?
And our zoning is being looked at, and the target completion date of that is when?
That's anticipated to be in about a year and a half still. It's wishy-washy at this time.
So could it be said then that if we didn't do something with this, that we would be holding people back by not bringing something like this up? Which
Yes.
that's what it would appear to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, and I would argue in favor of the recommendation that was made by Cedar at our last meeting when they did the presentation and suggested that perhaps we review they begin with the downtown area. I think that's the place to start. And so I would argue in favor of that. I think it's the right thing to do. And you're right, Fred, it is gonna hold people up. We know that we have 2 projects out there that have been in front of the council for a while, but there are obviously potentially other projects that we know of that potential projects that could happen, could be brought before us, and they'd be held up as well. So I think it's the right thing to do.
I don't know how to word it then, but then I would like to do as is being discussed here, make that as a motion. I don't know how to word it. How do I word that? Somebody help me, please.
We could move to approve that Cedar Corp proceed with updates to the Downtown Overlay District Zoning Code Chapter.
And that would say it clearly?
Right, that they begin with the.
Well, then that's your motion, Susie. If you should take ownership, you said it.
Okay, and there's a second, motion
And
second?
I'll second it.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on recommending the common council set a public hearing date for a zoning map amendment from R1 Single Family Residential to RM1 Multiple Family Residential at tax parcel 236-2001-02-040, Hanson Brothers, whatever, 12 LLC, XI LLC, XII.
so the applicant here has applied to rezone the 8.686 acres of property from R1 Single Family Residential to RM1 Multiple Family Residential. The PRD1 zoning designation would remain in place as this property is meant to continue to be part of the Carmichael Ridge residential neighborhood as was previously planned in 2016 when the PRD was approved. Additionally, land use designation is currently medium-density residential. That is also set to remain in place. So with those details noted, staff would recommend Plan Commission forward a recommendation to council to move forward with setting a public hearing date.
So moved.
Just for clarity for me, because I've been gone a little bit here lately, what property is this now? I mean, geographically spell it out to me, please.
So you know where the Holiday Inn
Yep.
is, with
Behind
the
there?
golf course area,
That whole
behind the old
perimeter?
clubhouse, yep, where Annabelle Way goes up from the roundabout there.
Mm-hmm.
It's right along, it's to the immediate adjacent west of Annabelle, right there. So there's kind of a tree line to the immediate south of that parcel, adjacent to some single-family homes.
It's behind the clubhouse.
Right, I know where it
It's
is.
on the hill.
Now that you say that, I know where it is. Would you, if they went into residential type properties and that, wouldn't that impair the development of any commercial property further west and south and west from that corner then, at some point in time? Because that's the way I would view it, is that, hey, if there's residential right there in that corner, how can you put stores or something like that beyond it? I mean, it acts like the gate is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it raises a flag with me.
It's my understanding that that's the last piece of property in that development.
It is.
It is?
Are you referring to the area north of Annabelle Way that would connect up to the Bella Rose neighborhood, where it's currently not in the city limits?
I'm referring to, and maybe I'm
Because
misunderstanding.
I know there's a bunch of open park space to the immediate west of this open parcel.
Right, I'm aware of that.
So if that's what you're referring to,
Okay, I've got it straight. I just had to
okay.
make sure. Thank you.
We've got a motion,
I'll second.
got a motion and a second. Any discussion? So this This one obviously has had our attention for some time,
Yeah, that's why I was asking the questions.
right? I'm never opposed to a public hearing. However, I mean, people can express their opinion, and the people in the neighborhood down there will be noticed.
Definitely.
And I'm presuming in the surrounding areas, I'm not exactly sure where 300 feet goes into.
I would ask you go out further than that, than 300 on this one. Because when we did what we did initially, that affected that whole area, not just that corner.
Fred,
Excuse me?
you're talking about that area right there. Oop, I just lost it now.
Well, I still stand by what I said. It affected that whole area. So I mean, if we could invite input from a larger radius, I would ask for that, please.
Can you do that?
That's what the public hearing is for, correct? Is to get input from,
Right, but as far as the notice is concerned, Fred is saying he'd like to go beyond the 300.
Well, it puts the neighbors on notice of what's potentially going on, too. There's moral reasons than one for doing this.
Yeah,
And for that reason alone, I would like, that's why I want to do it, is, hey, here's what might be going on. Be sure you're aware of it.
Yeah, we typically stick with 300 feet because it's a solid number and it's hard to, one time if staff sends
I
it
know.
farther and the next time you don't, and then it's a consistent distance for everything.
I know it's a deviation.
We would then be wondering what farther would be. Would that be the entire Carmichael Ridge residential development? That's,
You're putting me on the spot on that, and no, and rightly so, but,
so this motion, I'm sorry, Fred, if this motion doesn't pass, then what, this is dead in the water? Is that what we're saying?
means there wouldn't be a public hearing, yeah. You know, and I've got to say, people that have known me, they've watched, anybody that's watched over the years, you know, I'm pretty good with this stuff, but these guys have been less than forthcoming with us from day one. And they make me very nervous, frankly. The last time they came in here, they were represented by, they had counsel that flat out lied to this board about the sale of that property and whether it was going to be sold potentially for apartments. Said flat out, absolutely not. And one of our board members pulled out an advertisement that said the sale was for property for potential apartment use. And the council had to retract his statement. There were some words exchanged between some of the plan commission members and council. And you know, I mean, we could go into the history of this. They were supposed to provide golf for 10 years, didn't. And I mean, so I mean, they, like I said, they have been less than forthcoming with us from day one.
well, they haven't
Very,
carried
very
through on
nervous.
anything they said they were gonna do when they initially purchased it. Basically comes down to that.
Yeah.
And then they weren't straightforward with us with their intent once all that changed.
Right.
And
So
I remember that. That's what gives me the willies a little bit.
Given that information, I'd like to withdraw my second.
I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay,
I move that we just table it.
all right. For a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion, a second to table. Discussion? Well, that's actually not debatable, is it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on concept development plans for 2021 Jack Road Drive, A and K Shirley Properties.
So here the applicant is proposing a production and office addition to their existing building located in the East Business Park. So because of it being there, it does require the St. Croix Business Park Board's approval. This proposal includes a 100-square-foot addition to the office, as well as a 4,000-square-foot addition to their production area. The facades are all proposed to match the existing building, so it shouldn't look any odds and ends out of sorts. Concept plans have been reviewed by city staff, and our comments have been forwarded to the applicant group to provide updates to their plan sets accordingly. Therefore, staff is recommending approval of the concept development plans, anticipating a final plan submittal to come forward in the next month or so.
Also move.
Second.
Got a motion and second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. A discussion of possible action on final development plans for Hudson Center Lot 7, Hudson Center Holdings 2 LLC.
Thank you. The applicant has submitted final development plans for a new multi-tenant business building to be constructed on Lot 7 of the Hudson Center development site, north of Crestview Drive and west of Badger Drive. This proposal consists of a 6,002 square foot building that would accommodate 2 tenants, Chase Bank and Sleep Number. The plans include a drive-through and bypass lane around the back of the building for Chase Bank customers to use their ATM. And the final development plans provide additional details relating to landscaping, lighting, and an updated ingress-egress access plan. Staff recommends approval of these final development plans as they deem adequate to our municipal code requirements. We do have some listed stipulations noted in the staff report to tack on to this, as is normal for development plans.
I'll move to approve. With all pertinent things that apply, of course.
Yep.
And a second? All right, we have a motion and second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on a downtown design review for Dipsy Ice Cream at 115 Commercial Street. Deb Erickson.
We might have missed one.
Beg your pardon?
We might have missed one.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you missed one.
Oh, discussion, I just wanted to get to the ice cream.
Well, this one's kind of ice cream,
It is,
too.
I guess, yeah. Discussion and possible action on a downtown design review at 502 2nd Street, Lotus Creamery.
All right, so Lotus Creamery is desirous of installing a single projecting sign right above their door at 502 2nd Street. Signs proposed to be 4 square feet in area, would not extend more than 4 feet out of the wall, and is anticipated to be internally illuminated. Staff's reviewed and confirmed the sign meets all municipal code requirements related to sign dimensional requirements, so we would recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on a downtown design review for Dipsy Ice Cream at 115 Commercial Street. Deb Erickson.
So here the applicant has submitted a downtown design review application for an exterior facade update to the existing building at 115 Commercial. These updates include change or alteration from a flat roof with parapet to a shed roof, kind of at a slant, the replacement of existing windows and doors, modification of window heights, and the addition of a new employee entrance on the building's east facade, as well as some new sidewalk and concrete planters along the street and alleyway. Some new signage is proposed to be installed as well, but at a later date, wherein that'll be proposed with an updated downtown development certificate application. With that being said, staff would recommend approval of these updates, noting the list of conditions, but we would also like to add one more with the condition that bollards be placed in front of the 2 existing parking spaces to the building's east to protect the wall of the building from cars.
Sounds like they're improving that all to me, making it a lot nicer, and so I will move for approval with all city stipulations.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. I don't have anything. Anybody? Fred? Welcome back.
Well, I
Good
just...
to have you back here, buddy.
Yeah, no, thank you, and I, embarrassingly gone for a while here. Let me ask a dumb question. Just drove by a quick trip tonight up on Carmichael, and there isn't a tree on the property. They're open. Now, as our landscaping development plans for those types of properties, is it just the timing because it's winter when they finished? Some other things like that?
Yeah.
I was just curious why there was nothing there absent. It looked,
Yeah, no.
looked naked.
We're looking into it, no
Okay,
worries.
okay. You asked
We're
my-
always mindful of our trees.
Well, and I think there's a couple more like that too, but
Yeah.
you do notice them.
We do. We're always on them too, to make sure that they get it
Well,
done.
thank you. You're doing your job.
Yeah.
Trying.
That's it.
All right.
Adjourn?
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.